Okay, listen here. This topic is about fundamental physical quantities. You know that physics is a science of measurement. We need to measure a lot of things in physics. Can you tell me some measurements? Anyone? Any measurement? Suppose you want to measure the length of your notebook. Length, breadth, force. Newton is unit, force is measurement. Got it? This topic is more important for exam, and also it is needed for all the coming lessons. And about physics in 11th standard, we have total 10 units are there. Okay? And the first unit is about physical world and measurement. In that second topic we are discussing. Out of the 10 units, it is divided into 2 volumes. In the first part of the textbook, it covers first 5 units, and the second part, the next 5 units. So total 10 units are there. And this is the first unit of 11th class physics, that is physical world and measurement. In that, the second topic is fundamental physical quantities. Now, we have different physical quantities. As you told, like length, okay, volume, area, speed, velocity, acceleration, force, many are there, pressure. And out of these physical quantities, some of them are fundamental and some of them are derived. Some of them are fundamental and some of them are derived quantities. A fundamental physical quantity means, all of you write down.
It is the physical quantity which can be directly measured and expressed.
Suppose you want to measure the length of this block. Okay? How can you measure it? By using this ruler, isn't it? Can you measure it? What is the length right now? Approximate value. So this length of this block is, I can write here, L is equal to, length is approximately 10 centimeter. So it can be measured directly by using this ruler, correct? And if I want to measure the breadth also, I can do it. I can measure the breadth of this one by using the ruler. So this length, breadth, all are measurement with the ruler, that is means length only. This is a fundamental quantity. It can be measured by using a ruler. Now, what about the area of this block? What is the area of the block? Can you measure it directly? We need to measure first the length, then the breadth. Suppose now the breadth is nearly 7 centimeter. So its breadth is equal to 7 centimeter. B is equal to 7 centimeter. Now what is the area? L into B, length into breadth, correct?
Yes.
That is equal to 10 into 7 approximately is equal to how much? 70 centimeters square. And can we measure the area directly? So first we have to measure the length, then the breadth, then we have to apply an equation. We have to write an equation. The value should be substituted. After substitution, multiply, then only we are getting the result. Got it? Such quantities are called what? Derived physical quantity. Got the point? Such quantities are called what? So the physical quantities which can be measured directly and expressed independently are called fundamental physical quantities. So fundamental physical quantity, the first one is length. Now can you tell any other example for fundamental physical quantity? Height, length, breadth, all are measured with a scale, that is measured in meter or centimeter. So they are only one same unit.
Time.
Yeah, time. You can see here. Can you see this clock working here? So 3 minutes passed. 3 minutes passed after 5. Means you can measure the time right now directly from the clock. Do you want any equation for measuring time? No need of any equation. Directly you can express it. So we can write down the time is approximately here. Right now the time is we can say 5 o'clock. Okay, it is 5 p.m. now, nearly, or 5 p.m. and nearly 5 minutes. So it can be expressed directly and it can be measured directly. So time is a fundamental quantity. One more is there. Can you give one more example?
Mass.
Yeah, mass is a fundamental quantity. If you want to measure something, you add the mass distance here. Standard mass we can put here. So after balancing this one, From the balance, directly you can get the mass, isn't it? Suppose you want to weigh apple. Okay, keep the apple here, and if you want to buy 1 kg apple, put 1 kg mass, standard mass here, and add enough apple until this balance become parallel, isn't it? So mass we can directly measure by using a weighing balance. Is there any equation needed for weighing the mass of a body? No need of equation. So these three are examples for what? Fundamental physical quantities. Got the idea?
Yes.
So fundamental physical quantities are those quantities which can be measured and expressed directly. What is the unit of length we used here? Centimeter. Normally in the calculations and all in our lessons, which unit? SI unit meter. Okay. And the mass normally we measure in kg, and the SI unit of time is seconds. And these units also, they are called fundamental units. The units of fundamental physical quantities are also called fundamental units, because these units can be written directly. For example, here I have written length is equal to 10 centimeter. Okay, and we can write mass is equal to 2 kg. Can you convert this kg into any other units? Either it will be kg, kilogram or gram. Not in any other unit, we cannot express it. It is fundamental. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. But if you take, for example, the force is measured in Newton. It is not a fundamental unit, it is a derived unit. Because force F we can measure by using the equation what? F equal to ma, mass into acceleration. Can you measure force directly? We need to measure the mass, then acceleration, then multiply both of these, then only we'll get the force. And Newton, the unit of force, Newton can be written as
kg
into
meter per second.
Very good. Kilogram meter per. Mass is kg, acceleration is meter per second square. So kilogram meter per second square. You see, in Newton many other units are there. Kilogram is there, mass is there, time is there. Got it?
Yes.
So can we call Newton as a fundamental unit? No, it is a derived unit. It is a derived unit. So we have two types of physical quantity, and correspondingly we have two types of units also. The physical quantity which can be measured and expressed directly are called fundamental, like mass, length, time. And the units of these quantities are called fundamental units, like meter, kilogram, second. They are fundamental units. And the physical quantity, like area we have to find the length and breadth, then multiply, apply an equation, then only we'll get that. Force, you have to measure the mass. Acceleration is again derived one. You have to find the velocity, change in velocity by time, then only we'll get acceleration. And after all, mass into acceleration, it is a derived quantity, so force is a derived quantity. Like area is a derived quantity. How can you get volume? Is volume a fundamental or derived?
Derived.
If you want to find the volume of a body, you have to multiply length into breadth into height, isn't it? So you have to measure length, breadth, height, then multiply all three, then only you get the volume. So volume is a derived quantity. And what is the unit of volume? Meter cube. So meter into meter into meter. So meter cube you can split into meter into meter into meter. Means it is a derived quantity. Next heading. System of units. See, system of units means a set of both fundamental and derived quantities is called a system of units. And actually we have different systems of units. For example, there is MKS system. It is actually meter, kilogram and second, MKS system. There is CGS system, centimeter, gram, second system. There is FPS system, that is foot, pound and second system. What is a familiar system for you? SI system. Okay? SI system, System International D units. And this is used for the scientific purpose, for education purpose and all. SI system, System International D units. And it is according to the rules and regulations of an international authority. that is the International Union for Weights and Measures. There is an international authority, its headquarters in Geneva, and they decided in 1971. In 1971, there was a conference of this International Union of Weights and Measures. In that conference, they decided a set of 7 base units and 2 supplementary units, and that is called SI system. So SI system has how many units?
7 base
7
units
base units and 2
and
supplementary
2
units.
supplementary units.
And the 7 base units are here. Can you see the chart here? The 7 base units of SI system is mass. You know, mass is a fundamental quantity, and mass is measured in kilogram in SI system, and its unit is small kg. Kg letters, kg are small letters, because there is a rule here in writing the units. If the unit is name of a scientist, and if you are writing the unit in complete word, it should be started with a small letter. For example, you can see here electric current is ampere. Okay, when you see the ampere, the full word ampere is written small a, starting with the small a. It means if you write ampere with the capital A, it is name of a scientist. If you write ampere with the small letter a starting, it is unit of current. What is the difference? Okay. And the symbol of the unit, if it is name of a scientist, it must be capital letter. The symbol of the unit, if it is name of a scientist, it must be a capital letter. But you can see here meter, it is not the name of a scientist, so it is small letter. Kg, it is not the name of a scientist, so both are kg small letters. Got it? If you are writing Newton, Newton should be capital N. Pascal, P capital and second letter small letter, PA, Pascal. Got it? So the 7 base units here: mass in kilogram, symbol is kg; length measured in meter, small m is the symbol; temperature in Kelvin, it is name of a scientist, so capital letter K, block letter; and amount of substance in mole, mole is the complete word, and MOL is the symbol. What is mole?
6.022 into 10 raised to 26.
6.022 into 10 raised to 23 number of particles. And if that much particles are there, that is called 1 mole of the substance. And amount of substance mole, it is symbol is MOL. Electric current also one of the base unit, it is ampere, and the symbol is capital A. Time in second, small s. Luminous intensity, candela, CD is the symbol. Luminous intensity means the brightness of the light. In your room, if you switch on 2-3 bulbs, instead of 1 bulb, if you use 2 bulbs, you can see there will be more brightness, isn't it? And that intensity or brightness of light is measured in candela. Symbol is CD. Okay? There are 2 more supplementary units. The supplementary units are plane angle, that is measured in radian, and solid angle in steradian. What is plane angle means? Suppose I am drawing 2 lines here. Angle between 2 lines. Okay? Now here you can see, you can measure this angle by using a protractor. Okay? Now right now what is the angle here? Can you see the protractor? And I will keep it, I will adjust it, you have to tell the angle measurement. What is the angle right now?
35.
35 degree, correct?
Yes.
35 degree. So I can write here this angle theta is equal to, here the angle theta is equal to 35 degree. This degree is not SI unit. Okay? This degree is not SI unit. What is SI unit of this plane angle? Radian, symbol is RAD, rad. So here all of you have to remember very important point. This lesson onwards, we have to do a lot of numerical problems. Okay? In all numerical problems, if there is any equation with the theta, you must convert theta degree into radian, because degree is not SI unit. What is SI unit of angle? Radian. Now see how it can be converted into radian. How can we convert theta degree into radian? 360 degree is equal to how much? You know that. 2 pi radian. 360 degree equal to how much? 2 pi rad. 2 pi rad. Then 180 degree will be equal to how much? Pi radian.
Pi radian.
Very good. Pi radian. Then 1 degree equal to how much? If 180 degree equal to pi, then 1 degree, if I take 180 to right hand side, here 1 will be remaining, isn't it? So 180 degree means 1 degree equal to how much? Pi by 180 radian. Pi divided by 180 radian. This is the conversion. Remember all of you this one? Whenever you do numerical, if angle is coming, theta is coming in degree, convert into radian, okay, by using this conversion, 1 degree equal to pi by 180 radian. If it is 2 degree, how can you convert into radian? 1 degree is equal to pi by 180 radian, 2 degree equal to 2 into pi by 180, 3 degree equal to 3 into pi by 180 radian. Got it? If it is, now we have 35 degree. So how can I convert 35 degree into radian? 35 I can convert 35 into pi by 180. This will give the radius. So remember, whenever you are doing numerical problems, if the angle is given in degree, multiply that by pi by 180. Okay, so you'll get the angle theta in radian. Theta is equal to 35. Here we have 35 degree. 35 into pi by 180. That will come in radian rad. And once again, you can simplify this one. That is 35 into, what is pi value? 3.1 divided by 180. It is 0.01744. I'll write like this. 35 degree is equal to 35 into pi by 180 is 0.01744. You remember this number? Which number?
0.01744.
0.01744. So whenever you want to convert a degree into radian, that degree you just multiply by this number 0.01744, you will get the angle in radian. If you take only 4 digits, it will come 0.6104. 6104. Now what is the unit of this one? What I can write here? This theta is equal to what? Rad, R-A-D, radian. So rad is the unit. Got the conversion? Now listen here, what is solid angle? Solid angle is, suppose we have a surface like this. There is a surface like this, a curved surface, okay? And there is a point P here. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. There is a point P and this is a curved surface. And what is the angle subtended? The angle subtended by this curved surface at this point P. This angle, the angle subtended by this entire surface to the point P. This is a 3-dimensional angle. Normally we won't use this one in our physics. It is used in high level physics only. So here there is an angle at this area. This is called what? Solid angle. This is called what? Solid angle. For example, you see here in the video. Can you see this paper right now? Okay. If I fold it, now it is forming a cone shape, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Inside this cone shape, there is an angle. Okay. Can you measure this angle by using a protractor? No. This is solid angle. Okay. This is solid angle. This is the angle subtended by a surface here. If I consider a spherical surface here, and this spherical surface is subtending an angle at this point, at this corner, at this point, and that 3-dimensional angle, that is called solid angle, that is measured in steradian, but we are not using that angle in our lessons. But that is a base unit in SI system. Got it?
Thank you.
Okay then, goodbye. Thank you.